So, mabuhay and madyaw. So, this is our product proposal. So, our logo is this and Nito Hut. So, our mission and vision is to become a leading symbols of Filipino heritage and sustainable craft, sharing the history of indigenous weaving traditions through every headcraft. Nito Hut. So, mission statement. Our missions is to preserve and promote the rich cultural heritage of the Philippines by creating and offering authentic Nito Hut souvenirs. We aim to empower local artisans by supporting their livelihoods, sustain traditional weaving practices, advocate for eco-friendly and ethically made products, provide meaningful souvenirs that connect travelers with Filipino culture. So, our brief history, the Nito Hat is a traditional headgear in the Philippines, particularly made by indigenous groups like Hanunu Mangyan in Mindoro and other communities across the Visayas and Mindanao. It's woven from the Nito vine, Lydium circintium, a cumbling fern, known for its durability and rich dark brown color. So, the product description is Nito hat is a traditional Filipino headgear made from Nito veins, also known from Lydium circintium, a type of cumbling fern found abundantly in the Philippines. These hats are known for their intricate weaving patterns, flexibility, and sturdiness. Here's what you need to know about Nito hats.
Industry background. Native huts are a traditional part of Philippines culture made from native vines, a type of climbing fern abundant in the country's forests. History and cultural significance. Native hut making has its roots in the traditional Filipino craftsmanship, particular among indigenous groups like the Iraya, Mangyans, and Mindoro. The art of Nito weaving has been passed down through generations, reflecting the community's cultures and traditions. Historically, huts in the Philippines indicated social status, marital status, and village origin, showcasing their significance in Filipino trends of Nito hats souvenir. These days, Nito hats are becoming more popular as souvenirs because people want more than just ordinary gifts. They want something meaningful, authentic, and kind of the environment. Nito hats fit perfectly into these desires since they are handmade using natural vines and traditional weaving methods. Many buyers now look for eco-friendly products, and since Nito huts are made from sustainability materials, they, they appeal to environmental conscious consumers. Also, people appreciate a cultural story behind Nito huts, the skills of Filipino artisans, and the heritage they represent. So these hats are seen as more than just fashion items, they're pieces of culture. In short, knit hats are trendy because they combine sustainability, cultural value, and accessibility, all qualities that modern consumers are looking for in souvenirs today. SWOT analysis of Nito hats. trends made from natural sustainable material into line, which appeal to eco-conscious consumers, unique cultural heritage, and craftsmanship, reflecting Filipino tradition, lightweight, durable, and functional. As sun protection, hand, handcrafted, giving each pieces uniqueness and artisan's value, growing interest in authentic handmade souvenirs. Weaknesses: limited producting capacity due to manual weaving process, vulnerable to raw material availability into vine, grow is seasonal and limited, may be perceived as a unique product with limited mainstream appeal, fragility compared to authentic or machine-made hats in some cases. Opportunities: increasing global demand of sustainable and ethical made products, expansion through online marketplace, reaching international buyers, partnership with tourism industry and cultural heritage sites for promotion, potential to deliver the diversity product line bag basket using into weaving, growing interest in Filipino culture and traditional crafts. Threats: competition from cheaper mass produced hats and souvenirs, environment factors affecting availability of raw materials, climate change and deforestation, changing fashion trends that might reduce demand for traditional hats, risk of limitation products with lower quality impact market perception. Target market of Mito Hat souvenir in Samal Island. The primary buyers of Mito Hat souvenirs in Samal Island are tourists both local and international who visit the island to enjoy its beautiful beaches, resort, and nature spots. These travelers often look for unique, meaningful keepsakes that represent the culture and natural beauty of the place they visited, making the Mito Hat an perfect choice. Besides tourists, local residents and collectors who appreciate traditional Filipino craft are also part of the market. People interested in eco-friendly and handmade products are drawn into huts because of their natural materials and authentic weaving techniques.
Market share. Local artisans, a small scale product producer and artisans selling Nito Hat souvenir directly to the tourists and locals. And second is the tourist shops. Resorts, hotel, and souvenir shop catering to the tourists. And 3. Street vendor. Local vendor selling the Nito Hat souvenir along the beaches and tourist areas. These markets players contribute to the growing demand for Nito Hats souvenir on Samal Island, driven by tourism and appreciation for local craftsmanship. Positioning strategy. The Nito Hat souvenir should be positioned as a meaningful and eco-friendly and proudly Filipino product that the tourists and culture lovers will you want to take home, not just as a souvenir but as a story. We want the people to see the Nito Hat souvenir as more than a hat. It's a symbol of Filipino tradition made by hand using natural vines by skilled artisans, while other souvenir might be factory made from or generic. This hat is authentic and earth-friendly and made with heart. And distribution strategy. Sell where tourists to go. We can afford the Nito Hat souvenir in place where tourists usually visit, like souvenir shop, resorts, and pasalubong center around the Samal Island. This makes it easy for the visitor to see the hat souvenir and to buy them on the spot. And second is Local market shares. Joining weekend markets, local festivals, and trade fairs allow us to serve directly to the people, both and local and tourists. These events are perfect for showcasing and handcrafting beauty of Nito Hat and telling their story. Promotional strategy. The promotional strategy of Nito Hat souvenir is to make more people notice and buy the Nito Hat souvenir, and we need to promote them in ways that highlight their beauty, cultural value, and eco-friendliness. People are drawn to product with meaning shares the stories of how the Nito Hat souvenir made hand-woven by local artisans using natural materials that customer know is not just a hat, it's a piece of Filipino culture. And social media. Social media promoting the Nito Hat souvenir on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and other platforms post and photos. Form of ownership. The Nito Hat souvenir business can be owned by different ways, but that's the most common and practical form, especially for small or starting business, is a sole proprietorship. This means that one person own and manage the business, usually the artisans or entrepreneur who started this form is simple to set up and easy to manage, allow their owner to directly control the operation, finance, and decision making. Partnership identification. A Nito Hat souvenir business is run as partnership. It means two or more people work together to own and manage the business. This partnership should be group member or friends, or fellow artisans who share the same goal, promoting and selling the traditional hat. The rules and responsibility of Nito Hat souvenir is to run the Nito Hat souvenir in business smoothly. Everyone involved needs to have a clear rules. One is weaver artisans make the actual Nito Hat, and responsibility collect the Nito, binds, weaves the Nito Hat carefully by hand, ensuring the quality and maintains the traditional weaving technique. And product manager is to take care the finished hat souvenir and check the quality, handles, packaging, adds the label, and make sure each product is ready to sold or delivery. Organizational chart. So, mao ni among organizational chart. Then, government requirements. First is the business registration. You need to register your business with the Department of Trade or DTI. If you're sole or owner with the Securities and Exchange Commission or SEC, if it's a partnership or corporation, this makes your business official and allows you to operate legally. And second is barangay clearance. Before starting, get a clearance or permit for your local barangay village office. This shows your community knows about your business and approve of it. And third is mayor's permit or the business permit. You need a business permit to the city or municipal hall where your business is located. This lets the local government monitoring and support your business. And identification number or TIN. Register the Bureau of Internal Revenue or BIR to get a TIN so you can pay the right tax and issue officially the receipt. And 5 is product standard. If you want to sell your Nito Hat souvenir outside or
Location site. Souvenir shop near popular resort and beaches because tourists like to buy local crafts as keepsakes after enjoying their trip. pasalubong center or local markets where travel stop to buy gifts and souvenirs before having the island. Tourist spot and ferry terminals where people arrive and depart, giving a good chance to catch their attention. Local trade fairs or cultural events held on the island, which are great for showcasing handmade Nito huts to both locals and visitors. Facilities layout of Nito hut. Weaving areas. This is the areas gathered to weave the Nito hut's souvenir. Next is the material storage. A separate area of shelf to store raw Nito vines and other materials safety and dry to keep them into a good condition. Fishing and quality control area. After weaving the huts are shake here for quality, trim if needed, and prepared for sale. This space may include tables and shelves for organized finished product. Packaging and labeling section. The part of the facility is for packing the huts, putting on level tags, and getting them ready for customers' shipments. Employment and machinery. Weaving tools. Basic tools like knives or cutter to trim Nito vines, scissors for cutting and fishing that. Equipment and machinery. Weaving tools. Basic tools like knives or cutters to trim the Nito vines, scissors for cutting and finishing the hut edge. Sometimes small wooden frames or molds to shape the hut while weaving. Materials preparation tools. Tools for harvesting and cleaning chart. Harvesting Nito vines. Local weavers collect raw Nito vines from the forest or nearby areas. The vines are carefully picked to make use. They're strong and flexible. 2. Cleaning and preparing the vines. The vines are cleaned, soaked, and sometimes sun-dried to make them easier to weave. They are stripped and smoothened ready for crafting. Weaving and hut. Skilled artisans hands weave and the Nito into the shape of a hat. This is the most detailed and time-consuming part, where creativity and tradition come together. Trimming and finishing. After weaving, the hat is trimmed, polished, and checked for quality. Any raw edges and loose ends are fixed. Labeling and packaging. The finished hat souvenir is labeled with a brand, artisan name, or product info, and packed properly, often in an eco-friendly package for tourists. Capacity planning. Weaving team. On average, it might take 2 to 3 hours to finish one quality Nito hut souvenir depending on the design and skill of the weaver. Material availability. You need to make sure you always have enough Nito vines and other basic supplies. Planning ahead, especially during rainy seasons or when vines are harder to find, important so you don't run out. Labor. The number of weavers you have affects your capacity. If demands increase, like during holidays or festival season, you may need to train or hire more artisans for keep up without sacrificing quality. Storage display space. You also need to plan how many hats you can store or display. Having a clean, organized storage are help protect your product and prepare them for selling or shipping. Economic analysis helps locals' livelihoods. The making of Nito huts provide income for local weavers, especially in rural and island communities like Samal Island. Many of those artisans are maintained elves or farmers who rely on this craft and as a source of income. Preserve cultural and tradition. By supporting Nito hut souvenir production, the community helps prepare tradition, weaving skills, and have been passed down through generation. This keeps Filipino heritage alive while also giving it value into the modern world. Promote sustainable and economic friendly practices. Nito hats souvenir are made from natural vines, making them biodegradable and eco-friendly. This kind of business promotes environment awareness and supports sustainable livelihoods without harming nature. Boost local tourism. Tourists love to take home handmade authentic souvenir, sealing into the huts and Samal Island, not only bring an income but also enhance the island cultural identity, attracting more visitors who wants something meaningful. Conclusion. The Nito Hat souvenir is more than just a handmade item, a symbol of Filipino tradition, creativity, and sustainable living and carries the heart of local craftsmen, especially for communities like those in Asaman Island, where artisans carefully weave each piece by hand using natural into vines.
Hi ma'am, mabuhay madyaw. So, to proceed with the questions for the product or to depend my product. So, I am the first one who will depending it based on the question na imong gihatag. So, the first question, which is kung asa ko gi-assigned, mao ni siya. So, the first one is, what specific tourism product are you proposing to develop and how does it address an existing gap or needs in local tourism market? So ako ang answer ani is we are proposing to develop a handmade hat souvenirs called Nito Handmade Hat Souvenirs or souvenir made using local materials from Samal. So this product is designed to reflect the identity and culture of the island or in the Samaleños in a simple but in a creative way. We also noticed that most of the souvenirs sold in sold in tourists are either generic or mass produced, so which really represent the local culture. Our handmade hat fills this gap by offering something more personalized and crafted by locals and inspired by Samal natural resources. It's made by Nito Gani. So it is given it's give that it gives tourists a chance to bring home a meaningful and local made items that remind them of their visit diri sa Samal. And this also support the local craftsmanship and promote sustainable tourism because we're using eco-friendly native materials, so it is not just a souvenir but it's a product with purpose. So next, let's proceed to the next question, which is how does your proposed product align with current tourism trends and preference of your target market? So, akong maingon ani is our product, the Nato handmade hat souvenirs aligned with current tourism trends because many travelers today prefer local made and meaningful souvenirs that reflect the culture, the identity of the place, and that remind them for ilang visit sa lugar. So tourists are now more investing in authenticity or authentic item that tell a story instead of mass-produced ones. So this handmade product like our hat shows creativity, craftsmanship, and support for local talents, which it is something tourists really appreciate. It is also a fit well with the trends of sustainable and eco-friendly tourism since our product is made using local materials from Samal. So uh, this makes uh, this makes uh, this make it's not just a nice souvenir, but also a reminder of their experience and culture of this island or our island. And our target market is especially local and foreign tourists visiting Samal would enjoy a product that not only useful but also unique and also made with an effort and pride by the locals. And that's all.
Mabuhay Madjaw. My name is Joey Diva. So our strategy for ensuring the sustainability, economic, environmental, and cultural of this tourism product. So to ensure the sustainability of our NATO hat souvenir product, so we focus on three case area. So economic, environmental, and cultural sustainability. So first, of the economic side. So we make sure that local artisans, many of whom are mothers, elders, and farmers, so have a stable source of income through this business. So by placing our product in high traffic tourist areas like resorts, pasalubong centers, and ferry terminals. So around Samal Islands. So we help to ensure steady demand. We also consider expanding through online selling and to tap into wider market. So next is a term of environmental sustainability. So our hats are made from natural native beans, so which are biodegradable and eco-friendly. So we practice responsibly, so responsible harvesting by collecting only nature beans. So allowing time for regenerations. So even our packaging is conscious minimizing plastic use. So this helps us reduce environmental impact while promoting sustainability craftsmanship. So third one is for cultural sustainability. So our main goal is to preserve and promote traditional Filipino weaving. So each hat is handcrafting using techniques passed down through generations, particularly from indigenous groups like the Mangyan. So we also make sure that customers understand the cultural value of what they buying by sharing the story behind the product, truth levels, marketing materials, and social media. So our product is not just a hat. So it's like a livelihood. So a green initiative and a piece of Filipino cultures. So that's how we plan to keep this business sustainable from all three angles. So thank you.
So, mabuhay and madyaw. So, the question is number 4. How did you identify and validate the demand of this particular tourism product? So, demand was ma-identify lang through market research, so including the survey of tourists and local artisans. And analyzing current tourism trend, validate will be achieved through pre-launch, pilot workshop, and feedback collection. So number 5 is what are the key partnerships of stakeholder involved in the development of your product and what their rules. So our Nito Hat, um, local local Nito Hat market providing expertise and crafting materials. And also, Davao del Norte Tourism Office will promoting the product and facilitating permits. Local communities leaders ensuring the cultural sensitivity and community engagement. To launch and sustain interest our tourist product, which is a souvenir, we will use a multifaceted approach. First, we focus on creating a strong brand identity. This means developing a memorable name and logo and defining unique selling proposition or USP that set our souvenir apart from the competition. The USP could be anything for its unique design or material to its connection to a specific local story or tradition. Next, we utilize digital marketing like social media marketing. We create appealing content for platforms like Instagram and Pinterest, showcasing our souvenir and attracting, selling, and highlighting its unique features. Sige, 1, 2, 3. Launching a tourism product will be a fun adventure. We spread the words using a mix of online and offline strategies. We create exciting content for Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and use target ads to reach the right person. Our website will be easy to find thanks for CEO. We also design eye-catching brochure and ads for travel magazine and work with travel agents to get the work out. Plus, we share press release and work with influence to create some buzz. We even host event and workshop to let people experience our product firsthand, and I team up with the local businesses.
One of the main challenges and anticipating and developing and launching the Nito Hot souvenir. Source enough quality raw materials. Since the Nito vines are naturally grown with, they can be seasonal or limited, especially if demand increase. To manage this, plan to partner with the locals. First, I calculate the total cost per unit including raw materials, labor package, and transporting the Nito Hot souvenir and the area.
To measure the success and impact of my tourism product, the Nito Hot souvenir over time, I would consider both quantitative and quantitative ways focusing on how people respond